I'm going to show you how to make this double cap bracelet. You can make it in any colors you like, but for this video, I'm going to use rainbow colors, and this is what you'll need: a rainbow loom, a C or an S clip, a hook, and 51 rainbow colored bands. It kind of depends on how many different colors you have, but for this one, I'm using 5 yellow, red, and orange bands, and 4 bands of all the other colors. Make sure that the 3 rows of your rainbow loom are offset, that the center row is closest to you, and the opening of the pins are facing away from you. Let's start with our first band, and what you want to do is you want to stretch it out so it lessens the chance of the band breaking later when we start working with it. Put the band around 2 fingers, stretch it out, turn it into the shape of an 8, and fold it back onto your fingers. Now you have a double capped band. You want to take this band and put it around the first pin on the center row and stretch it to the first pin on the right row, like this. Then grab your next color band, stretch it out again, put it around 2 fingers, then stretch it, turn it, and put it back over your fingers so you have a double capped band. Now you want to grab this band and take it to the first pin on the right row, and you stretch it out to the second pin on the middle row. And we'll continue following this pattern, so diagonally up to the right, then diagonally up to the left, and then to the right, left, etc. So grab your next band, stretch it, put it around 2 fingers, stretch it and twist it into the shape of an 8, and put it back around your 2 fingers so you folded it double. And now you start on the pin that you just ended on, and you either go to the left or the right depending on which row you're on. If you're on the center row, you go to the right, and if you're on the right row, you go to the center. And continue doing that until the very end of your loom. I'll show you one more time how to do it, so grab a new band, stretch it to lessen the chance that it will break later on, and then you twist it into the shape of an 8 and put it back around your 2 fingers so that your band is folded double, and you take that band and you put it around the pin that you ended on, and then you go to the left to the center pin. I'll show you how to do it one more time in the bottom left hand corner of this video, and the rest of the video I will speed up until the end of the loom. So continue doing this, pause the video, and play it again once you're ready for the next step. Once you've finished adding all the bands to the loom, you want to turn the loom around so that the opening of the pins is facing you, like this. Then you grab your hook, and we're going to start hooking this bracelet. We're going to start not on the first pin, but the second pin that has a band on it. And you put your hook inside of the band that is around the first and the second pin. You push that band to the side, and you grab the next color that's on the second pin. You take it out and put it around the third pin. Then you want to put your hook inside of that pin, and you grab the next color that is attached to the fourth pin. You take it out and you move it over to the fourth pin. Then what you want to do is you want to put your hook inside the fourth pin, push the bands to the side, and grab the next color that is attached to the fifth pin. You take it out and move it over to the fifth pin. And you continue doing that until the very end of your loom. So make sure you pause the video, and then you continue doing this, and you play the video again once you're ready for the next step, and then I will explain to you how to finish off this bracelet. Here we are at the very end of our loom, and you can see me hooking over the last band onto the last pin. And once you're finished doing this, then you can put your hook inside of the very last pin, and you take off the band. Make sure that it's on your hook, and then you can carefully pull off all the bands from your pins. And normally the bracelet would be done after this, and all you would have to do is add a C or an S clip. But unfortunately, this bracelet is not long enough to put around your wrist just yet, so we're going to have to extend it. And normally you would do it the easy way by just making a single chain bracelet and adding it, but I think that's a little silly because it's very easy to continue this double cap bracelet all the way around your wrist. So take a good look at the length, and maybe you want to put it around your wrist to see if you need to make it double or maybe a little shorter than that. Then you grab your loom and turn it back around, and you grab your first band, and you do the same thing that you've been doing. So you stretch it out, put it around your 2 fingers, twist it into the shape of an A, put it back around your fingers, and then you move that band from your fingers to the first pin on the center row to the first pin on the right row. And then you grab your next band and you continue doing that all the way until the end of the loom if you want to make your bracelet twice as long. So look at the length of the bracelet that's on your hook and see if you need to make it a lot longer to fit around your wrist, or maybe you don't need to make it that much longer to fit around your wrist, so you can kind of calculate how long you need your bracelet to be. So for me personally, I need to make it pretty long, so I'm going to work all the way up until the end of the loom. And once we've reached the end, we're going to add our bracelet to the very last pin, and I will show you once I've added my last band to the loom. You grab your hook, and then you want to transfer the bands that are on your hook onto the very last pin on the right row, or onto the very last pin that you've put a band on. So do this carefully, because if you lose track of the band, then it may not be easy for you to recover your bracelet again, and you may have to start all over again. So make sure that it's either around your hook or around the pin. So don't just take it off the hook. Just make sure that it stays attached to at least something. So once you've done that, you want to turn your loom back around so that the opening of the pins is facing you. And then you grab your hook again, and we're going to start doing the same thing that we did earlier, except instead of starting on the second pin, we are now going to start on the first pin. So put your hook inside of the first pin, and you want to push away the bands that are from your bracelet, and you grab the very bottom band that is around the first and the second pin. You take it out and you move it over the second pin. Then you put your hook inside of that second pin, you push all the bands away, and you grab the very bottom band, or the next color that is attached to the next pin, and you take it out and put it over the next pin. And you continue to do this all the way until the very, very end of your loom. So again, I'm going to speed up this footage just so the video won't be too long. And what you can do is you could just pause the video, and then you can play it again once you're ready for the next step. And once you've reached the end, I think it's easiest to grab the very, very last band and carefully stretch it over a pin right next to it. This is not necessary, but it's just a little easier to put your C or your S clip onto these rubber bands. And once you've done that, make sure all the bands are in your clip. Then you can carefully pull the bands off of your loom. And be sure to be very careful with it, because there's a lot of tension on these bands because they're all folded double. And once you've done that, your bracelet should be almost finished. The only thing we need to do is add the C or the S clip to the other side of the bracelet, but I don't really like this very last band on the other side, so I want to cut that off. But before we do that, we need to attach our clip to the second band on the bracelet on the other side. So what you want to do is you put your hook inside all of those bands, and then you stretch it out a little bit so it's easier to put your C or your S clip onto that. So you attach your clip to that very last band before the band that you're going to cut off, and then it should be all attached. So your bracelet is safe now, and all you have to do is cut off the very last band that is sticking out. So grab a pair of scissors, cut it, and then you can pull on one side very carefully to pull out the full band, like that. And now your bracelet is finished! Yay! So this is what it looks like. I think this looks way better than having the other band. It just looks a little neater, but of course you don't have to do that. For example, if you don't have any scissors on hand, or if you don't really mind the way it looks, then that's fine. Then you can put it around your wrist, and this is what it looks like. I really love this bracelet. I think it's really cool. Very simple to make, but it's a great product. And I personally like rainbow colors, but of course you can make it in any colors you would like to make it. If you like, you can leave a comment underneath this video to let me know which colors you used for this bracelet. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay notified of my newest videos. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye!